All right. If the Cornell method was too much writing for you, if you're more of an artsy type, maybe you should try out mind mapping. This is definitely more geared towards uh, visual learners who like to see patterns and like to see colors and lots of things like that in their notes. It can be a lot of fun. So, mind mapping. Let's learn about mind mapping. I think this is a form of visual note taking. And how it helps art connect ideas in your brain. Um, I don't think so. Let's start this over. All right. If the Cornell method was a little bit too much writing for you, if you're maybe more of an artsy type, if you like drawing or graphic design or things like that, you can use that artistic side of you and use it for learning other kind of topics. So what you can use is called mind mapping. Involves a lot more colors, shapes, whatever you want to do. It's a very broad category. Visual note taking, I think you can do a lot with. I see a lot of students in my classes who are doodling, which I love. Sometimes maybe they're letting their doodling take away their attention, though. So maybe they could use their doodling. Get too preachy. Let's not do that. All right, mind mapping. If the Cornell method was maybe more writing that you necessarily want to do in your note taking activities, uh, mind mapping is more artistic. You can use shapes, colors, however you want to do with it. Visual note taking can be very flexible, um, and use a lot of those elements for helping ideas stick in your brain. So again, probably want to have some way to take notes. We're talking about mind mapping and visual note taking. So what the heck is mind mapping? Helps you organize information in a non-linear creative way. So you're not necessarily, writing line by line by line by line like we were with the Cornell method or like we would with other potential methods. The classic way to do a mind map is to create a diagram connecting ideas around a central topic. Um, so I'll show you an example of that, and I'll show you another example that's maybe not as even strict as that. You can do even more with visual note taking than just having this kind of diagram. This is nice because using colors, images, especially if you're a visual learner, is going to help your memory, enhancing your memory, um, simplifying complex things. Maybe you're talking about mitochondria and all the things that go into mitochondria. You can kind of have mitochondria in the middle, have all the different information about mitochondria in a web around it. And drawing is just good. Doing things with your hands while you're learning, a lot of learners that helps a lot of learners. Me, I'm a visual kinesthetic learner, so I do best by reading. I do best by working on things with my hands. So um, kind of involving all of those into mind mapping can be really, really good. So again, you're gonna have some kind of central idea. You can have that in a bubble in the middle of your sheet of paper or your whatever you're using for maybe some graphic design or like a whiteboard, a digital whiteboard. You'll draw little branches away from it, and you'll connect the subtopics to the main topic. And with that, you can have colored arrows. You can have little doodles, kind of helping you picture things in your mind a little bit better. Um, Doing all these things too. And it can be as complicated as you want. You can have a really simple mind map where it's just the main topic and main branches. You can also have those subtopics have their own branches and subtopics. Can be really cool. So here's an example of that. I did mine on the theme of greed in The Hobbit, which is another one of my classes. Really, really good book that I like. So I have this main topic of the theme of greed, then I connect it to these characters, and I talk about how these characters show off the theme of greed. So that's kind of the classic mind map, just a diagram. Helps connect everything to the theme of greed. Doing all these things, just a classic mind map, which can be fun. And I got cool colors, and I didn't do too much else with it, but you definitely could. Another example of visual note taking that's not necessarily in this mind map category, you could do something like this. So again, with The Hobbit, I wanted to show Bilbo's progression from how he was at the beginning of the book, where he was just living in his hobbit hole, to the end of the book where he faces a dragon. So I have the pictures, and I did this on Canva, which can be a really cool, fun tool to use for something like this. And I show things that kind of helped him get up the staircase to change from being a tiny, timid hobbit to being more of a brave adventurer. That's another way to just really simple, but I'm going to remember it really well because I've got colors and graphics and stuff like that. So pretty easy, especially if you're an artistic person. So go ahead, just the same thing we did for the Cornell method. Even if you don't think this will be as good for you, just try it out. Go watch a video, go read a passage, and make some kind of mind map or some example of visual note taking and submit it to the class. All right. See you next time.